Superpowers. They can be weird and confusing sometimes. There are some that are just never explained, others that we understand completely but just leave us scratching our heads as to why they were there in the first place. There are some that are cool, but maybe need a little bit more of an explanation. Some that change depending on who's writing them. Or there are even heroes with so many powers that we can't remember all of them because that would just be crazy. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host David Raff, and today we are going to be talking about the top 10 scary superhero powers. Today we are going to be talking about the top 10 scary superhero powers that no one understands. Now, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd so you never miss one nerdy moment. Alright, with all that being said, let's get started. Number 10, the Phantom Stranger. The Phantom Stranger comes from the DC universe and is a character that is, well, very mysterious. I mean, his true origins have never been technically revealed. He has a lot of powers and is said to be one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe. His powers include immortality, spellcasting, illusion casting, reality manipulation, teleportation, dimensional travel, mental awareness, transmutation, and spectral sight. It's a lot. No one knows where he has gotten all these powers though. Well, not officially, that is. He has had a few different origins over the years. One was that he was a fallen angel who decided to stay neutral during Lucifer's rebellion against heaven. Another theory is that he is a remnant of a dead universe. Another is that he was a man named Isaac who had a wife and daughter around the time, when Jesus would have been a child. When the king sent out soldiers to kill all the young male kids in an attempt to kill Jesus. Unfortunately, some of the casualties were his wife and son. He then blamed Jesus for this. He tried to take revenge on him, and because of this, Jesus sent him to walk the earth until doomsday. And another one was that he was alive during biblical times, and that one day he tried to commit suicide, but angels did not allow it. They stopped him from entering the afterlife and forced him to walk the earth for eternity, which showed him what he was meant to do: turn away humanity from evil. So, Phantom Stranger is a bit confusing, but that doesn't make him any less cool. Number 9, Legion. David is a very powerful mutant. He's the son of Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. Now, it would be kind of impossible to list all of his powers because, well, he has so many, with more being added all the time. How is this possible? Well, let me explain. You see, David is an Omega level mutant with dissociative identity disorder, which means he has multiple personalities. Each of these personalities have their own abilities. So, one has telekinesis, while another has super strength, while another can shoot acid gas, while another can teleport. Another can warp reality, and the list goes on and on. At one point, Rogue said while she was trapped inside of Legion that she saw thousands of personalities, all with unique powers, and more being created every single day. It's kind of crazy and almost makes him an unstoppable character, although being able to control and tap into those abilities is another thing entirely. Number 8, Hope Summers. Hope Summers is the daughter of Nathan Summers, aka Cable. She was born during a time when, well, mutants weren't supposed to be born, which is why a lot of people call her the Mutant Messiah. Now, Hope has the power of the Phoenix Force. Now, Hope has had the power of the Phoenix Force at one point, but that is not what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about what her powers are on her own. You see, she has the power of superpower manipulation. Basically, she can control any power of a mutant that's around her. Now, when Hope was born, Cerebro detected her and then blew up, like she straight up destroyed it. Why? Well, that was never 100% clear, but people say it's because how powerful she was. Regardless, it happened and it was a really big deal. After that, she couldn't be detected by any mutant detecting equipment. So now that leaves a lot of fans asking if she is even a mutant at all, which makes things even more complicated. Number 7, LONGNECK. LONGNECK, also known as William Hanover, is a mutant who made his first and only appearance during New X-Men issue 140. He was one of the mutants that ended up losing his powers during M-Day. His powers are very weird and don't really make a lot of sense. He has a long neck. That's literally it. Why is that his power? And what purpose does it really serve is anyone's guess. The character hasn't shown up again since, so at this point all we can do is theorize about it. What do you guys think LONGNECK can do with his powers? Put those theories down below. We need to figure this out. Number 6, Choir. Irana Clayton is a mutant, also known as Choir. She first appeared in New X-Men issue 119. Her power is that she has 3 extra mouths all over her neck, And these mouths can make her sound different, or even make her sound like she's talking in a completely different location. I mean, that could be useful in certain scenarios, but not really overall. She ended up losing her powers later on because of what a Scarlet Witch did on M-Day, so she really doesn't have to worry about, using them anymore. But still, that doesn't really stop us from wondering what the point of that power really was. Number 5, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the greatest superheroes of all time, but there has always been one thing about his powers that has confused fans over the years: his spider sense. To this day, people consider it to be one of his most inconsistent abilities, mostly because different writers have different ideas of how it works. Sometimes they can let him know exactly where danger is. Other times, he has no idea why it's going off, or knows why, but doesn't know where the danger is coming from. I mean, he has been able to dodge bullets or dodge attacks from behind, yet other times someone will just sneak up on him and he has no idea. Even in the films, it's been a source of debate. But this really all comes down to whoever is writing him. They just have different approaches to this specific ability. Number 4, Scarlet Witch. Wanda is one of the most powerful heroes in both the comics and the MCU. In the comics, she uses a form of chaos magic, in which she can warp reality. But in the films, her powers came from an Infinity Stone. In both versions, we still don't know exactly how her powers work. We know she uses magic, but the full extent of her powers is never really fully explained. She can wipe out almost the entire mutant population in the comics, or almost kill Thanos in the films. Reality warping is a near limitless power, so technically, with us only knowing that, she could essentially do anything. Scarlet Witch is such an amazing character in both the comics and films, so hopefully one day we learn a little bit more about her overall abilities. Number 3, Daredevil. Matt Murdock, the lawyer from Hell's Kitchen, and part of a show that was canceled way too soon. So, Daredevil actually has a similar problem to Spider-Man. His abilities have always been a bit inconsistent, specifically his radar sense. So, when Matt lost his sight, his other senses were all enhanced, to the point where he could technically see because his other senses were supercharged. They would create a picture of the world around him. But, over the course of his superhero history, it has become a very inconsistent ability. Sometimes it can show him everything, other times not so much. Even in the TV show, which is amazing, it kind of changed from season to season, depending on the scenario. Although it did feel like they had a better grasp on it in the end, but unfortunately, we will never see how that would have continued. Number 2, Superman. Superman has a lot of powers. Some of them are very straightforward, while others are really not. For example, in the Superman film series, he was able to wipe away some of Lois's memories with a kiss, which people, call the amnesia kiss. Also, in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, he was fighting Nuclear Man, and when Nuclear Man ends up destroying some of the Great Wall of China. Also, in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, he was fighting Nuclear Man, and Nuclear Man destroys some of the Great Wall of China. So, Superman is able to repair it with his eyes. And I am not joking. Outside of his heat vision, he has repair broken structures vision. Like, where was this in all the other films? He just learned it now? Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And that's not all. In the Silver Age Superman comics, Superman was able to create a miniature clone of himself that he shot out of his own hand. And this clone possessed all of his powers. Like, what? It doesn't really make any sense. And they ended up scrapping the idea later on because it never shows up again. Thank goodness. Number 1, the Sentry. The Sentry. People call him Marvel's Superman, but that really couldn't be farther from the truth. Aside from the S on his costume, they are nothing alike. Robert Reynolds is a complex character. He is not fully on one side. He has been a hero and a villain. His powers are limitless. He has super strength, super speed, invulnerability, regeneration, invisibility, matter manipulation, shapeshifting, telekinesis, telepathy, healing, and the list goes on and on. Nothing can kill him. I mean, he's even flown into the sun and he was just okay. He fought the Hulk and won. The dude is so powerful that even the smartest people in the Marvel Universe haven't found a way to actually kill him for good. Alright, there you have it guys, the top 10 scary superhero powers that no one understands. What does your list look like? Let us know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Top 10 Nerds so you never miss one nerdy moment. I'm your host, Raph, and thank you so much for watching.